Coming up next on Safety and Awareness Today. Welding is a profession that requires a lot of attention.
You actually get sunburned on your eye.
Candy can be good for you.
Dark chocolate has been known to lower blood pressure in some people.
Plus, we'll visit the Tri-Valley YMCA and talk a little bit about the growing interest in yoga exercising. We're back at German Flats Veterinarian Clinic, and we're going to talk to Dr. Clark about soft paws for cats and dogs.
Declaw surgery is not to be taken lightly and not to be done unless absolutely necessary.
Okay.
I like to counsel owners to try everything else first, and then if push comes to a shove and you just can't live with this cat, then we can declaw.
Okay.
But it's not to be taken lightly. It's actually an amputation between the second and the third digit.
So it takes part of the knuckle.
It takes the whole knuckle right off.
This is Lily. This is my fiance's cat, and I guess mine. We spend a lot of time together. And instead of declawing, we chose soft paws. Now the soft paw thing is kind of neat. We did clear soft paws to start with, and then we went to orange soft paws because we could tell when she had knocked
Lost
one
it.
off.
Okay.
Yeah. So you clip the nail.
Clipping the nail is very different than decline. What we're basically doing is just trimming the nail like you would trim your own fingernails.
Yeah.
So there's no pain at all involved.
Now they stay on the cat's claws, what?
They stay about a month. What happens is most of them come off because the nail regrows and pushes it off.
Yeah.
So you'll have to keep trimming them and reapplying them.
All right. Lily takes a couple off when she stretches on the scratch post.
Okay.
She'll
Digs
free
them
it.
in
We'll
and
see a
pulls them
couple.
off.
Yep. But then again, and you only do the front ones. You don't have to do anything with the back ones.
Well, it depends on why you're putting them on. Now we
Okay.
have some clients that if they're diabetic, they don't want the cat sitting on their lap and jumping off and kicking and scratching their legs.
Okay.
Which a cat will just do
Will
that
do. Naturally. Process.
So that sort of a cat would have rear claws put on as well.
Okay.
Or we'll occasionally use them in dogs, like if owners have brand new hardwood floors and the dog is running around
Yeah.
and digging them.
Well, they really are.
Boating dogs that are on the highly polished decks.
I'll be darned. I'll be
sort of
darned. Wonderful. Well, thank you for taking a minute and sharing that
Thank you.
information with us. Yes.
On Safety and Awareness Today, we have an opportunity to go over many techniques. The technique I'm going to go over with you right now is from a lapel grab, and I have Mr. Fiore here to help me. Mr. Fiore goes ahead and he does the lapel grab. I'm going to reach up from the outside of my body. He grabs with his right, I'm going to use my left hand. And I'm going to lay my arm between his wrist and his elbow joint with a closed fist. And that allows me to grab my arm as one solid unit. I'm going to step back and pull, and that blades his wrist, allowing me to get free. He does the grab. I lay my arm over between the two joints, grab onto my arm, step back. And as I pull down, that frees me up. Let's see that from the other side. He does the grab. I lay my arm over top, step back, and I've got the blade and free. One more time from this side. He does the grab. I lay my arm over top. I grab onto this as one solid unit, step back, and as I pull, this blades the wrist, and I'm free. I now have the opportunity to counter with a knee or a kick to the face, and it's this counter that I'm doing to them that's going to cause them shock. It's going to possibly cause their tear glands to go. I'm not trying to inflict pain on this person, simply trying to occupy their mind with this counter that allows me to get free and seek safety.
Coming up on Safety and Awareness Today.
Everyone has seen someone welding with a full face shield, but there's more to it than just a face mask.
Safety and Awareness Today, sponsored in part by Reels Lighting by Jody.
Yoga. What is yoga? Well, we're at the Tri-Valley YMCA to ask Diana Henry what is yoga?
Yoga is an exercise practice that comes to us from the Asian countries, and our westernized society has adopted some of those exercises.
All right, and they affect us in what ways?
We work to keep ourselves in balance with our mind, our body, and who we are on the inside.
Now, when we do yoga exercises, what kind of things do we hit? I think we hit strengthening.
Absolutely.
And
Balance, we talked about.
Yep.
There are poses that work on our flexibility.
Okay, flexibility.
And there are poses that we put ourselves in for resting purposes.
Okay, so we've got
To focus our mind.
Right. Resting, strength, balance,
And stretching.
stretching. Now, when you talked about balance, we talked about a little bit earlier, you're talking about not just the physical balance, but how a person balances themselves within their life.
Absolutely. We all have stress in our life from our jobs, our families, financial stress. The demands on our life sometimes cause us to feel off balance.
All right. Now, what would be one that might be effective for developing better balance?
Tree pose.
Tree pose.
A lot of our standing poses work on balance.
That's a good way to start. Is there something that comes before tree pose?
We start our tree pose from mountain pose position.
Okay, from mountain pose. What's mountain pose?
Mountain pose is a standing pose with your feet right underneath your hips.
So I'm like this.
Toes pointing forward
Toes pointing forward.
and knees soft. We should never lock our knees back.
Okay.
And a cue that I often give my participants is that the thigh muscles should be relaxed, not clenched tight.
Okay.
Hips are aligned over the top of your knees, and then shoulders over your hips, so that you're standing very straight and tall with very good posture.
Okay.
Arms straight down to your side,
Yep.
neck nice and long and tall, and the energy in your body lifting you tall from the crown of your head.
All right.
And from here, to get to tree pose, you would...
So this is it. This is mountain
That's
pose.
mountain pose.
All right. This is mountain pose.
And we're going to move our mountain pose to the balance on one foot. So you're going to shift your weight slightly so that you're standing over one foot and start picking up the heel on the other foot. And as you do that, put the bottom of your foot against the inside of the ankle that you're standing on. The inside of your foot has the big toe right by the arch.
Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
as you stand tall in your tree pose, one thing that helps you maintain your balance is to imagine that knee being pressed open from the inside of the knee.
All right.
And tree pose can extend our arms in various positions out to the side.
Okay.
And that helps with balance when we stretch some of our body weight out wide.
I think my limbs are going to hit your
Yes,
limbs.
and I'm going to move back
Okay.
just a
So
bit.
I'm like this.
And your tree can grow taller with your arms reaching way up over your
up.
shoulders. And feel that lifting sensation out the crown of your head, and you are in tree pose.
This right here.
And we would consider that a beginning level of tree pose.
Okay.
And as you lower your arms and step down onto that foot that you lifted from the floor, you would return to mountain pose.
Now, do you exhale as you're going out or
Yes.
in? What's the process?
A big part of yoga is that abdominal breathing. We tend to breathe thoracically a lot of our day.
Yes.
And so in yoga, we very much stress complete abdominal breathing, which is allowing your abdominal wall to move away from your spine as you take your inhale through your nose.
Well, you can feel that in the calf, too.
Yes.
The calf is working.
Yes, absolutely.
There are so many poses in yoga. We just covered a few of the basics here today. If you'd like to see more on this segment, log on to www.cnyhomepage.com.
Yoga. Boy, is it good exercise and good for you in a number of different ways. But if you can't get to the Tri-Valley YMCA in Oneida, the fact is you can still get started in yoga. You can go to a bookstore. You can get Rodney Yee's DVD. You can get martial arts yoga. And I recommend, if it's at all possible, you may want to check on Grandmaster Mark Shuey's yoga books. They're called Yoga Play for all ages, and they are excellent. We're going to put his website up so you can check on him. He's out in Nevada, and as a martial artist, he's excellent, and he sure does this well. So get involved. Yoga can make you feel better every day.
Coming up on Safety and Awareness Today.
Everyone has seen someone welding with a full face shield, but there's more to it than just a face mask.
Right now I'm at St. Johnsville Welding, and we're going to talk to Wayne Handy because I got an ice cream scooper, which is relevant and important. It's a Mickey Mouse scooper, and it's come apart. I want to see if I can get this welded back together so I can use it. Wayne Handy, by golly, it's a pleasure.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Great.
Well, I tell you what I got here. I got a little ice cream scooper, and it looks like it was spot welded or something, and it's come apart.
Yep.
Well, I'd like to get it fixed, but you've got some very big equipment. I think this might crush my ice cream scooper. This is
Well, we do all sorts of stuff. I mean, small stuff to big stuff. Let me take a look.
okay. Take a look at
See.
that.
Yeah, I think we can fix it for you.
All right, all right. Now, while I'm here, you do a lot of welding.
Yes, we do MIG welding, TIG welding, stick welding.
You said TIG welding?
TIG welding, you just create an arc and feed the filler metal in by hand.
All right, you said arc. I understand arc. I mean, and that's where you have to wear a shield, though.
Yes.
Because if you don't,
You actually get sunburned on your eye and it blisters.
oh, that's got to be awfully painful. You've had that, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, geez, that's bad. Now, if I'm standing watching somebody doing some welding with an arc, and I'm not over there near them, I'm 10 feet away, and I'm just kind of interested in what they're doing, and I'm watching them, could I still get the retina burn?
Yes.
So you really shouldn't ever look in the
40, 50 feet away.
40, 50 feet?
You'll still get it.
Oh, my heavens.
And if reflection off of windows, walls, it's as deadly as it is if you're looking straight at it.
Well, then that's interesting, and I want to get into that a little bit more. Am I going to get a chance to weld today?
Sure, I'll let you do some.
Will you let me do some?
Sure.
Well, that's great. I don't know if I want to ruin Mickey Mouse's scuba.
No, I don't think you're quite ready for that, but for some welding, we'll suit you up.
Everyone has seen someone welding with a full face shield, but there's more to it than just a face mask.
First off, I'm going to give you this fire-resistant coat.
Because this coat is fire resistant, that means sparks from the welding won't burn through my clothes and ultimately burn me.
Now,
Then?
when you button it up, make sure you're buttoned up all the way,
Okay.
because any white or anything it reflects will actually reflect the light up under your helmet and burn your eyes.
Not only is there a helmet and a fire resistant coat, but now welders use an air purifying system.
This is going to supply you fresh air into your helmet as
Okay.
you're working.
An air pack. Welders have an air pack now.
Yes, if
This-
you're working in an environment where you can't get away from the smoke,
So this is going to provide me clean
fresh air.
air, fresh air. Inside, apparently there's a mask.
Yes. Now this is the helmet, and after you get this on, I'll attach the air hose to the back of it,
Okay.
and I'll turn it on so you can see what it feels like.
Today's helmets are completely electronic. They can actually sense the arc created by welding nanoseconds before it reaches your eyes.
You can set it to do most anything you want.
Oh my goodness. So it's all computerized.
Yes.
And it covers your whole head and it tucks underneath your chin.
Yep.
This is a lot like going scuba diving.
A little bit.
So after a brief training session, it was time for me to do this.
Now, what I want you to do is to bring the gun up. First, I want you to put your helmet down so to protect
Okay.
your eyes. Put that down. Good.
Okay.
All right, now I want you to bring the gun up until you're just about that distance away from the work. All right?
Yeah.
And when you're ready, just pull the trigger and move towards me very slowly.
And move towards you.
Towards me.
Now, as I do this, there's going to be a sound.
Right.
Is there any kind of sound I should look for?
For this particular welder, you want to be listening for mad bumblebees.
Mad bumblebees. Mad
No, and
bumblebees.
You'll see why when you pull the trigger.
Okay. I'm hesitating, but I'm close.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
You got it.
Mad bumblebees.
Wow, look at that. That's really neat.
That's not bad.
That's great.
Really?
When you want to start working?
Wow, this is cool. There's a lot of work though.
As excited as I was and filled with confidence, I thought it was best to let the expert handle my delicate little ice cream scooper.
This is a TIG gun.
Yeah.
This electrode in the center now is a non-consumable electrode. It means that it does not disintegrate when you create the arc. This will just create an arc between the two pieces and fuse the metal together.
So nothing is being added to these two metals this time?
Not at this time. No.
So this is a lighter arc.
Right.
And it's actually going to fuse these two metals together.
Correct.
This is actually very delicate work. What Wayne has to do is heat the thicker metal of the handle without melting a hole in the metal of the scoop.
Incredible. There. One ice scooper fixed.
Wow, that's great. What a profession. There's a lot involved in it. And we've covered some safety factors today, not only for those who weld, but for the community members too. Be aware, don't look at the arc. Have the right equipment. And if you're around welders, ask them what they're doing so that you can assist them in being as safe as you possibly can. It was a very, very informative day, and I got my ice cream scooper back.
Safety and Awareness Today, sponsored in part by Dream City Mattress.
Anything in excess can be bad for us, but there are some things we don't think about that can be good for us, such as candy. I'm here at the New Hartford Shopping Plaza at Candy Corner to talk to Dick Aurelio about the benefits of chocolate.
Dark chocolate has been known to lower blood pressure in some people, lower the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and it opens up the arteries so more blood flows. And dark chocolate is a very stable food. Dark chocolate will last, plain dark chocolate will last 18 months.
All right, so we got some dark chocolate here. Here's a dark chocolate covered mint. I like these. These are good.
Those are very good.
Now, and this is good for me. It's in moderation.
In moderation, of course.
Shouldn't eat 20 or 30
Nope,
of these.
about 7 ounces a week is what they recommend.
7 ounce? I like this. This
Isn't
is
that very good?
nice. You put some nice dark chocolate on here. I like this. Now you say it has a shelf expectancy of 18 months.
18 months, solid dark chocolate.
All right. What about milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate has a life expectancy of about 12 months.
All right. That 12 months, after that, what really happens?
Well, something called blooming. It turns white on top.
Yes.
What the blooming is the sugar rising to the top and turning white. It's still good to eat, but it will turn grainy in your mouth. It's still good. I mean, it won't kill you.
And the sugars actually
Rises to the top. It's called blooming.
That's interesting. Now, when we go to a store, we should check dates. Boxes
Date codes.
that are pre-done.
Correct. Date codes on candy is the sell-by date. That means if you're buying dark chocolate and it has a date code on it, it's good for another 18 months.
Okay.
After that, that's the sell-by date.
Oh, sell-by date.
Right.
All right. And the fact is that more and more people should be aware of that because
Correct.
they do really recycle. Some of the big companies recycle.
Some of the big companies take the chocolate and reuse it for different holidays.
For different
That's
holidays.
not good to do.
It's not good to
Not
do, but
good
it
to
does
do.
happen. I heard that happening in New York City, and they had it on the news, and
Yes,
they
it
were
does.
talking about it,
Yep.
and I thought, my goodness, chocolate does have a life expectancy.
Yes, it does.
All right, now, there are chocolates with fruits in them.
Right. A chocolate-covered cherry, for instance, like this one here,
All right.
or a pineapple or an orange, those are good for 12 months. But chocolates that have creams and nougats, they're only good for about 60 days.
I like chocolate-covered cherries a lot.
Especially the real cherries, they're very good.
Oh, yeah, they're awfully good.
Those are very good.
And you go to a candy place like this place right here, and you're going to be able to get top-line chocolates that are checked by you.
Yes.
And looked after and cared for with loving care.
Exactly.
Until we come in and treasure them ourselves.
Exactly.
I love it. Thank you for a moment on our show.
You're welcome.
And sharing that with us.
Thank you very much.
See what I said? Just in moderation, candy can be good for you. And it tastes good too. The Safety and Awareness Today show has covered areas of safety and awareness for a lot of topics. If you have an area that involves safety or awareness for you or the community, we want you to write us. Contact us at safetyandawareness@cnyhomepage.com.